At the very end of this course, I'm going to give you a list of my favorite writing resources. But I'm going to jump the gun a little bit here and tell you about one of my favorite. In 2007, writer-director J.J. Abrams gave a TED Talk about mystery boxes. These are basically mysteries that writers create to keep the audience hooked, because it's like a box they can't open. When you make an audience curious, they are interested and engaged and more susceptible to having a powerful reaction to your story. One of the examples J.J. Abrams used was one of his own in the TV show Lost, when those that crash landed on a tropical island saw a polar bear.
Guys, this isn't just a bear. It's a polar bear.
Perfect example. They don't mention it again on the show for quite a while, but you keep tuning in, looking for the answer to what the heck that polar bear was doing on a tropical island. That polar bear was a mystery box in Abrams' own language. As with Lost, Back to the Future creates an interesting mystery box at the beginning of the film when Marty McFly is being confronted by his jerk principal.
No McFly ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley.
Yeah, well, history is going to change.
Now, from these words, you know history is going to change somehow, but it's not clear exactly how. So as an audience, we get curious because we can guess that Marty's going to go do something great and change history in the process. We tried putting as many mystery boxes as possible in the assurance, and I think that's actually one of the things that worked out better in the film. In the very beginning, we see a little girl by herself wandering in the wilderness. That's kind of an unusual sight, so that becomes a mystery box. She says her sister was her only family and ditched her in the wilderness so that she could accomplish some big mission. That's a mystery box. We hear about this great evil force, but only see a helmet. Boom, mystery box. We see and hear Tayani do something magical, but we can't tell what that is other than it looks an awful lot like a mystery box. Well, I think it's important to start the film with a mystery box or two. Sometimes mystery boxes can come later. It's never too late to keep the audience guessing. In The Shawshank Redemption, in the middle of the film, Andy tells Red while they're both still in jail about something buried under a rock. This ends up being a literal mystery box that keeps our interest to the resolution of the story, even after all that, big Shawshank redeeming business is over with. At the end of The Hunger Games, our hero Katniss and her very close friend Peeta are told by their government that one of them has to die.
Only one victor may be crowned. Good luck.
I mean, how are you not absolutely hanging on the edge of your seat waiting for that resolution? This mystery box doesn't come until the end of the film, and it's open less than 2 minutes later. But it's still an extremely potent 2 minutes because of the question it creates in the minds of the audience. In The Empire Strikes Back, they create a subtle mystery box that isn't even open until the next film in the series. Luke Skywalker spends most of the film meeting and training with Yoda, and before he leaves, he says this.
And I'll return, I promise.
So we know he's going to go back to see Yoda at some point. But he doesn't do that in the rest of that film. So we walk into the sequel with a mystery box we're still waiting to see opened. Luke is going to go see Yoda for something, and by then, we've been anticipating that for some time. Mystery boxes are a great way to engage an audience, whether they show up in the beginning, middle, or end of your movie, and regardless of how long it is until their curiosities are satisfied. Now, I strongly recommend going over to TED.com and watching this amazing talk on mystery boxes by one of the most successful and talented filmmakers alive today. It's free and it's only 18 minutes long. J.J. Abrams is charming and hilarious and insightful, and he's really a phenomenal artist. I've seen that talk no less than a dozen times, and I learn something new from it every time.